Legendary status. Vic XL. Sam Pisa, aka TF. Where y'all gonna learn, man? You can't stop what's inevitable. It's the incredible. PZ, AKTF, dropping jewels, but they edible. I ate my vegetables, but he ate my spinach. Riding with Vic again, so no, we ain't finished. Legendary status, so no, you cannot copy. Riding dirty radio, so crispy, also sloppy. Instant to the street, so we know just what is needed. Keep it underground, staying down, cause we ain't greedy. This is where you find what is popping for the culture, where we keeping it on pressure. Stay away from all the vultures. No scavengers here, just keeping it real. Big got it out the mud, but it's still so clear. So sit back, relax, and just let us lead you. If you trolling for no reason, then we don't need you. It's Big XL, he can't be stopped. Riding dirty forever, the home of real hip hop. Ride dirty, dog, y'all can't harm me. I'm living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty. Ride dirty, dog, y'all can't harm me. I'm living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, world? It's your boy, Vic XL. This is the Ridin Dirty Show, where we bridge the gap between hip-hop and everyday life. It is hump day. It is Wednesday. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. Shout out to everybody over on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter. Shout out to everybody checking in this morning. We got a very, very exciting show. In my entire, you know what? Before I begin to that, please, everyone, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure on your way in, you hit the like button, or either on your way out, you hit the like button. All right. Make sure you comment, interact, and share. Okay. Please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you comment, share, and let's just have a good time. All right. Now, during my entire radio career, I've always wanted to speak with a psychic. I've always wanted to speak with a psychic. Now, I've heard all kind of radio personalities talk to psychics, and I've always wanted to talk to a psychic. So, you know what? They say, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. So today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody in the chat, y'all make sure y'all get up real close if y'all got any questions to ask as we welcome to the Ridin Dirty Radio platform, Psychic. Hold on, I lost my place.
Hello there. I hope you can hear me. I was having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
Yes.
Your microphone is very scratchy right now. Can
you hear me? It might be my voice. I have their early
it's audio. It's an audio. Hi, everybody. It's audio, though. I typed to you that it's audio.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show.
I want to be able to hear you. Sorry about
that. Okay. Anthony J. Pharaoh. We got a lot of people.
Yeah, let's just do that all over. Let's just start the introduction all over. Anthony J. Pharaoh. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure your audience can hear you, because if they can hear me, they'll get their reading. But if they can hear you, then they know the host is selling a little bit better, right?
Yeah, they can hear me though. No one is telling me they can't hear me. I'm looking at people in the chat.
I can hear you clear now. Just like I can hear Spirit clearly.
Okay, look. We're gonna pause. We're gonna start over. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Ridin Dirty Show. Anthony J. Pharaoh, aka Young Pharaoh. What's going on, my guy?
Ashe, how are you, man?
First of all, what does Ashe mean?
Ashe is Swahili for a man. So a man derivative comes from Egypt, even though it is widely known to be used in Christianity per se. But Ashe is a Swahili word for Aman, which means to agree.
Okay. Hip hop songs in about Outkast, Beamers and Benz. All right. You ever watch New Jersey Drive?
No, I think I might be too young.
Okay, New Jersey Drive is an urban classic. It starred Tretch from Naughty by Nature. But the movie depicted how at that time car theft was huge in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey was considered the car theft capital of the world. So I asked everyone I ever talked to from New Jersey, do you know how to steal a car? Do you know how to bust that steering column?
No. You know, I actually, my first ever job was in the United States Air Force. My second job was at a bank. So I don't really think I had much time to steal, even at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more like the bookworm, book nerd type of dude. So getting into who I am a little bit, yeah, I am currently residing in New Jersey. I travel, so I wouldn't say that New Jersey is a home for me. I would say that I'm more nomadic in my approach. I love technology. I'm just myself. I just feel like life is what you make it. So my whole plug here is this, because I want to get to the questions that I did want to identify with you. You can just get to that. But my website, since it wasn't mentioned, is healeranthony.com. And I've been healing all my life. My first reading happened when I was 6 years old. I was sitting on the bed next to my mother. And my mother began to tell me, she said, you have a message for me. And I'm like, a message? She said, just tell me what comes from your heart. And I began to tell her about how she had a problem with necessarily not wanting to live. And I'm telling her this at 6 years old, and I completely go blind in saying it because I never looked at my mom as having a weakness. And childhood was just crazy in general. So whenever childhood was crazy, I would turn to magic. My magic books, my magic cards, and I would go into my own space, go away for myself. And it was important for me to stay contingent with what was going to be the healer aspect of my life, which comes from energy and universal source and things like that. So, I mean, I'm open to all questions. You can ask me anything.
I was going to do the whole build up. I wanted to bring the people into your life from childhood to adulthood, but we skipped straight to it. So let's talk energy. Let's talk energy.
Mm-hmm.
We are having this conversation now. I got people in the chat, but let's start with me. What do you get from my energy?
Well, I'm not open to doing a reading for you right now until Spirit nudges me on the shoulder, and then I'll interrupt myself and tell you what Spirit told me. If he does give me a message for you, it might be for somebody else in the room. It might be for a caller. So that's how I came into my gift, just so people can have a background. It happened that young for me. At 15 years old, I went into ministry. I was a youth minister, a musician. I'm still a musician. And I went into youth ministry full time. And I would say from age 15 to about age 18, I was into the whole prophetic scene and the whole, give $1,000 type thing. And it was fundamental as a young Black person to be involved in that, but something kept calling me deeper into mysticism and into agnosticism and into meditation and mentalism, reading minds, things like that, just magic in general. And those things always intrigued me. So by the time I was 18 years old, I was in my first relationship, and I had a breakup, and I ended up meeting someone by the name of Valerie Love. And you may know who this woman is. She is an international speaker. She's a spiritualist. In my opinion, she's a spiritualist. And she's also a very prominent person. She does like Oprah type, Ayala Van Zandt type status type thing. Her thing was different from me. She categorizes herself as a witch. I would categorize myself as a magician. But at that young age, I met her maybe a week to me moving out of Philly and back into Jersey. And she literally coached me on how to move into accepting certain aspects of my life. So she's always been a guiding light for me, and I just love her to pieces. So you may not be familiar with her, but I am. So I would say for 2 years I was on TMZ. I did commentary for TMZ. That's when I really got bit by the pop culture blog, and all like that. I'm trying not to take over the interview, but
no, I'm actually enjoying. You're educating me, and I'm enjoying hearing you talk. I do have a question. I want to go back to when you were 6 years old, and you spoke about with your mother. Having that type of revelation or feeling that type of energy, did it frighten you?
No.
At 6,
and I think the only reason why it didn't frighten me was because it was my favorite person in the world, my mother.
Okay.
Who passed away 2 years later.
Okay, because I have a real deep connection with my mother still to this day, and man, that would scare me today if I had that type of revelation or felt that type of energy. So at 6, that's amazing.
Is what?
At being 6 years old, that's amazing that it didn't frighten you or even make you not acknowledge your gift.
I think what's meant for you is meant for you. I mean, every branch has to stem and grow from some root. You may not understand it. It may have been an early age, but it has to grow at some point. If you want a tree, if you want a laviette, you have to grow at some point. That's it.
Okay, now
so things meet you in your life when it's supposed to.
All right, as you grew into your gift, how did your friends tell you, or was it even conversation pieces amongst your friends?
My friends would get a reading, and then they would respect, and then they would go to the website and purchase. There's not one person in my life that standing in my life that I would say that I would break bread with, or go shopping with, or catch a movie with, that isn't under my scope of reading. You can't enter my life without taking on this spirit. You can't, or else you're not going to be a personal friend or an asset to my life. So, it may be business, like I might send you a letter like every week, but in order to be in my life, to walk with me, everyone knows if I get a message, you're getting it. And if you're going to book, then book every 2 weeks if you are a person that's in my personal circle.
All right, now I have a question from the chat. Is tarot card reading part of your process?
Today, I was led to bring my magician playing cards, regular playing cards, which is the original way the reading started. These cards actually outdate tarot cards. Tarot cards are pictorial cards. Anyone can make a tarot deck. Doesn't make you a psychic. Tarot cards are more geared toward art, while playing cards are more geared toward magic, numerology, certain kind of points, and the cards are built after a monarchy. So you're looking into what we call like the Royal Archaic, so that you can figure out what numbers and everything align with someone's chart or spectrum or whatever.
Okay.
So I also brought with me today, which I don't need tools in order to, but I also brought with me today my pendulum. Now, those that follow me on TikTok know I use this pendulum every evening at 6 p.m. This pendulum goes with me where I go. It might go in my pocket. I might need a quick yes, no on the subway. So it is my pendulum. I value my pendulum. I work with my pendulum beyond any other tool because I'm a Reiki master. So pendulums are used in order to charge chakras, help them balance, put them in the right format. That brings me into questions that you're not asking. I have yoga out here every day, every Sunday in Trenton from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is our Sunday get together. So if anyone's in the New Jersey, Philadelphia, DC, New York area and wants to drive to Trenton, all you have to do is go to my website, www.healeranthony.com, to get resources on the yoga classes, how you can book a one-on-one consultation with me. There is a waiting list, but as the quicker you get on a list, it's the quicker you're able to speak with me. So I also want to mention Anthonyism. So I think we're going to get to the notes, right?
Anthony, you are like a track star. I'm like a marathon runner. I'm a pace guy. I build. You're just because I follow the process, Anthony.
But you love it.
Huh?
But you love it. But you love it.
I absolutely love you. I absolutely love you. Because I want to, and let's talk about Anthony.
You have me pissed because you wouldn't start the interview over. And you don't even know how many people I had lined up to send this copy to. It looks completely unprofessional, but I still got love for you, bro.
Okay. Well, being pissed.
You have put me through hell, but it's all right.
I put you through hell, Anthony.
Oh,
it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's talk about Anthonyism. First of all, walk us through the brand. What made you start it?
When I was working at the bank, I was 18 years old working at Wells Fargo. And I remember I was doing my mediumship readings on the side. I was literally going through a phone book, and I was calling up people and telling them what spirits and guides I saw connected to them. So I was really living like the Oracle from the Matrix, which is one of my favorite characters growing up. And I'm going through the phone, blah, blah, blah. So something told me make an Instagram. At this time, I would keep everything on the low. Like I was prominent in church. You know, I was a musician. You know, I was preaching even. And I was doing what I felt my deceased grandfather wanted me to do, which was preach, blah, blah, blah. You know, but I had too much personality for that. You know, at the end of the day, too much flair, too much personality to remain a preacher. Sorry, not everybody dies a preacher that starts a preacher. Some people wake up. Thank goodness I woke up. So, no more dead robes. But anyway, as far as Anthonyism, I created this handle for Instagram. It was the first time I was ever being public about doing readings. Like public, like just strangers in general. I hadn't even made a flyer or business card. So I made this Instagram, Anthony. It was ANTHONEE. And of all the people in the world that could find my only Instagram, my direct manager finds my Instagram. She's like, "Oh, you're a medium. I'm Italian. I love being mediums. My husband's going to bring pasta today. We're going to do a private reading at my home." And I'm just like, this lady has completely crossed boundaries. I'm working at a bank. I'm trying to be on a QT, on a down low about this whole reading thing. I'm trying not to read her energy while I'm at the bank. And it just, whenever I would bring it up or bring it out in scenario or situation, people wanted to hear what I had to say. Much like when I first got on the interview with you, he was like, "Well, what do you pick up from me?" Truth is, I like to kind of, especially when it comes to interviews, I talk first, but I love to talk, believe it or not, if I'm in the right mood. And I talk first, and then I get into the readings toward the end, just as a way of respect for spirit, that I'm not like taxing spirit and going back to spirit while I'm talking to myself, talking about myself. And I guess Anthonyism became part of the fact that I love Erykah Badu, and I am a musician, and I always think of Baduism. So something in me said, Anthony, you are a ism, and you need to be Anthonyism. And it just came together, and I'm like, Anthonyism. So that is my screen name on TikTok, Anthonyism. I would say the Pharaoh came from, just in general, my core beliefs. I would say around me, I would always find like enchanters, magicians, astrologers, and that's more of the Pharaoh side than, what people sometimes feel like they are impulsive on doing or saying. I'm kind of very careful on everything that I say, and everything I say has a meaning and a definition, because I believe that words have power.
Yes.
And what we ascribe to ourselves is really important. Not only that, how we respect ourselves is even more important. And then on top of that, what's even more important than all of that is the fact that everybody is a sacred text. So us as magicians, we teach that we are here to unravel your sacred text. And when you put something before that, then you are robbing yourself an opportunity to truly love and adore you. Because that is the key purpose to life, is loving and adoring you. And whatever magic comes out of that, you just bottle up the magic and you use it. But, there's not much you can really do besides be who you are. Now, that's where atheism came from. Because for so long, I was used by churches, manipulated by churches for a gift. And it was told to me, be popular, meaning do what the church says, my artist. Do what the church says. Because if you do what the church says as a black male, you will come out on top. I'm going to be honest with you. That is not always true.
Absolutely.
Quite the opposite actually happens in these buildings. So I am just a kid, well, grown now, but I was just a kid who grew up loving church and the concept of a higher power and a higher source. And then I began to network in such a degree that I met a lot of prominent preachers, speakers. I was being invited to platforms, and I quickly learned that there was something bigger than you and I. Remember that Whitney Houston song? Something bigger. You don't want to put the mic on me? But there's something bigger out here than the whole thing we got going on. Some people say it involves extraterrestrials. Some people say it involves the Matrix. I just say it involves me and what I bring to the table. And when I stopped doing that, I actually grabbed a camera with a videographer and went out in public and started reading people on my YouTube channel. And the rest was history. And that's when I began to realize that what I have to offer, it just stretches far beyond, what the average person has to offer. And in saying that, I do hear Spirit saying that you're a person who loves your family very, very much. Your family is very close-knit and connected to you. I also hear Spirit stepping forward and saying there's a male on the other side that passed on, that you trusted and was very loyal to you. He was more loyal to you than you were to him. I hear Spirit saying that about 10 years ago, you came out of a lot of traps and mind traps and negative thinking. And Spirit said that in making a prediction that you're going to go forward in some of the things that you endeavor to do. But it's time for you to hold certain things dear to yourself a little bit closer. I feel like there's some incomplete things. Whoever you're worried about in the family, Spirit said, don't worry, just manifest. It's weird. It's almost like I see a lot of people depending on you. Would I be correct in saying that? People who are not even necessarily immediate family, not like spouse or kids. I feel like people look to you.
Yes,
you have to be the glue to bring consciousness back to the family.
You would be correct in that. I feel like I have a lot of people who depend on me, and not necessarily financially, but
for moral support.
Moral support, for having their back, in that aspect. I have a large family. I have a majorly integrated family, which consists of all races, all ages.
I'm getting to this fact is that I pulled the six of spades here. So what this is telling me is that you're working on yourself as a person. 6 is a number of man. So you're working on yourself as an individual, and you're trying to integrate yourself into healing your energy so that you can be more for yourself, more than other people, instead of draining yourself. I hear Spirit saying that this is the time for humanity to step forward into you. Because Spirit said that you're very judgmental of you. Most people wouldn't know that. You're kind of comedic in your approach to other people, but you're very judgmental of yourself. And Spirit said, in order to move to the next dimension and season of your life, you're going to have to let go of personal judgment and criticism to yourself and become more of a developer. Develop the things that really make sense to you and that you love to do. But that's going to come through you really understanding who you are, right? And like, as you understand who you are, there's going to be levels and things that unfold that may not have. You're married?
Yes.
And you do have kids.
They're grown.
You have a daughter?
I have. Dang, I forgot. I have 3 daughters. Dang, that's sad. I have 3 daughters, 2 sons.
Okay. Well, I see a talented family. I see one son being resistant to some of the things that you're telling them. One's a little bit more hard-headed than the other. And I see, as far as the three girls go, I see a good career path for all of them. I see them being very intelligent. They take after their mother.
No, absolutely not. That was no. Their mother is not intelligent. No, she's not intelligent because she divorced me, so she can't be intelligent.
Yeah. So that's the dumbest thing she could have ever did. However, I still see intelligence on her level, and I see she was intelligent enough to make you spend a whole lot of money. That's what I.
So look,
wisdom comes in different ways, friend.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? When you bring it back that way, I have to agree with you. Let's talk about your company, the Hollywood Psychic. Let's talk a little bit about that because it's going to be debuting on television. First of all, what's the origin of it? What made you create it? Are Hollywood Psychics necessary?
Well, believe it or not, I might talk very proper or whatever, as people like to tell me. But I love hip hop. I love the grime. I love the dirty South. I love Creole food. I'm black. And what I don't like is that in Hollywood, most psychics are white. And it's almost like the main stage is restricted to black psychics, unless you're a gimmick. And you even see that in other modalities, like televangelists and things like that. Unless you have a gimmick, you can't really make it mainstream as either a magician or a psychic, they try to say. So I'm changing all that. So I have two websites that I'm launching in the month of October, which is thehollywoodpsychic.com, because, not to get like noted, but there's other psychics that call themselves the Hollywood Medium or whatever. And I have no disrespect. I've never met the guy. I think he came to Parks Casino here in Philly not long ago. I was going to go, but my schedule was conflicted. But I would say is that a lot of times we brighten-eyes the psychic field into somehow Caucasians know psychic world better because we're just some Baptist folk that became renegades. But that's not true. I would say that if you look at the Orishas, and I am crowned in my Orisha, when you look at the Orishas, all psychic abilities come from an African nature. And African American people were so prominent and good at what they did that they hid secrets of voodoo even in between slavery. And these things are just now coming to the forefront because people are awakening. So people are getting tired of going to Starbucks and everybody saying, well, I have the best energy because I am a Reiki healer or whatever. Listen, that's all a dimension. That's all the world. What I'm after is I want to interview Snoop Dogg and give him a reading. I want to interview Dr. Dre, because this is the thing. We're all esoteric as Black people by nature because we come from an African lineage. You get what I'm saying? The true historical African religion was not Christianity. It wasn't Buddhism. It wasn't even Arabic. It wasn't even Aramaic, even though that was the actual language that Jesus spoke on earth. It was none of these things. The primal African religion was divinity in and of itself, which tells me that the Black man is actually God, lowercase g. We were made in God's image, absolutely, in order to function in God's image, but how can you be made in the image unless you hold that thing's DNA? So we are God. Know ye not that ye are God, which is one of the replicas and rules of all magic. So with blackpsychics.com, which is launching October 14th, I am starting a psychic line of African-American psychics within the Unity community. So we're doing a prominent African-American association. Some people will call it church. Some people will call it laughter, happy times, music, whatever. But blackpsychics.com is a network of Black entrepreneurial psychics who do more than just be a psychic, who start businesses, who do life coaching, who do life planning, event planning. Whatever your economy is, we teach you how to implement your psychic abilities, whether it be the 5 clairs, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, whatever of the 5 clairs you have, we start you with a 5 clair path study to your intuitive power so that you can begin to maximize your business into what it's meant to be versus what society, especially white America, Big Brother, is trying to tell you you have to be. You do not have to be a colonial American in order to be a Black successful individual. You do not have to be part of everyone's looking for their esoteric message, whether they know it or not. So a lot of times people end up in white churches, but they're running a Black-owned business. There's a conflict there. Because I've gotten to the point where I used to try to satisfy everyone. Until I met someone who differs from me. I'm a psychic, this person is a prophet. I'm a psychic, 2 different tools, right? One does not verse the other. Same information, 2 different prelates. I would say I met one of the most renowned prophets in the entire world. And I had dinner with him multiple times. And we shared more than dinner. We laughed, we talked, we prophesied. And I learned who I was through my purpose and intention of the God in me. And when I began to learn who I was, that this skin complexion is not going to change, I began to realize that I had a spiritual responsibility to empower those that look like me. Because everyone who steps on a platform, when I was on the platform with T.D. Jakes, who signed my book, gave me major compliments. When I went to go see Juanita Bynum, and she prophesied to me that I would go around the world. It wasn't about religion. It was about the fact that I was moving and shaking with people who had already came before me and did this work before me. But I had to be authentic to what I am and who I am and whose I am, which is I am myself and I'm my own creator. So when I began to look around the psychic community, I began to look at people like Teresa Caputo, who's a Long Island medium, who I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say about her. I feel like some of the information is somewhat general and somewhat the same all the time. And then you got people like John Edwards, who I love to read John Edwards books growing up. You got people like Sylvia Brown, who I adored Sylvia Brown growing up. But again, I never saw anyone that looked like me. So when I did get into the industry and I started doing readings as a Black prophet, as a Black psychic, and I started doing readings for people, I wanted to empower my own people and give back in an educational format so that other Black people could say, guess what? I'm done being colonialized by Western America, be it the church or government or whatever, and I'm going to think for myself. And I'm going to use my intuitive abilities. Anyone can say this that's Black. I'm going to use my intuitive abilities to forward my business, my goals, and my family. Because my gift comes to prosper. It does not come to just say, oh, I have a gift. You get what I'm saying? So I think that the problem is that unless the Black individual in society gets the okay from a pastor or a bishop or some kind of clergy, then they're not good spiritually. The truth is that the power lives within you. So what we're trying to do with blackpsychics.com and positioning myself as the Hollywood psychic versus the Hollywood medium. We all know the Hollywood medium. But as the Hollywood psychic, we're looking at giving information that's going to liberate people. Without liberation, people die, right? Because if you don't liberate yourself into your purpose, you never meet and connect to your purpose. So blackpsychics.com, again, we're trying to educate people on their own intuition. Not what the preacher said, not what the pastor said, not what the Rosh Hashanah said, not what the baptism said or the communion cup said. But what are you saying to yourself? What is the conversation you're having with yourself? And the conversation you're having with yourself is either going to initiate $1 million or block $1 million. But that is the mindset that I'm trying to get into with Black people, is that you are the owner, shaper, and governor and author of your own universe. So it's time to connect. And the only way to truly connect is to go within. And when you go within, you find yourself. Yeah,
I have a question from the chat.
Yeah.
Because in my introduction of you, I say Anthony J. Pharaoh, also known as Young Pharaoh. Are you familiar with the world-renowned YouTube celebrity Young Pharaoh?
No, I'm not. Who is that?
There's a huge YouTuber by the name of Young Pharaoh.
Okay.
That just came from the chat. He's pretty big. For lack of.
Well, we're focusing on me because this is my interview, right?
No, I'm reading from the chat.
Let's not give promotion to other people. But I mentioned like 5 people. So I guess you can mention someone with the same name as me. But I don't want anyone to get it confused, you know? I don't want anyone to get it confused. I am the only young Pharaoh that is good friends with major line psychics and prophets. I'm the only one who's good friends with Chrisette Michelle, who's open to doing music with Chrisette Michelle at any time.
She's dope.
Listen, Chrisette Michelle is bomb. And not only that, I remember sitting down at the piano with her and going over notes. She's bomb. She's just bomb. Like, and what I love is how she stood up for Black rights by wearing that dress that was made in replica of slave times, and people still tried to mar her for singing at inauguration that other Black celebrities sung at. It can't be a double standard. It can't be, you know? And that's just my friend, and I'm always rooting for her because she's bomb. I remember I was on the phone with her for a whole hour when I first met her. At first, I met her in person. And then I was on the phone for a whole hour. She coached me up when I was at one of the worst times in my life. She coached me up and was like, listen, now wipe your face, no more drooling. She's dope like that.
All right, before I let you run, because you haven't talked about your third website, which is about social justice.
All right, well, I don't have a website about social justice. I'm just always handling social justice because there's so many margins set up in Hollywood. You can talk about this if you're a psychic, but you can't talk about this if you're a musician. You dance really well, Pharaoh, but we want you to smile at the camera like this. People always want to try to cut and shape and make you into something other than that or this. I say like this, gotta be real, right? And social justice to me is very important because young Black people are dying every day. And if we are going to be anything in society for anyone, what we really must get to is the fact that society is in an emergency state. And the psychics that we have online and in the media now are bubblegum psychics. I call them that affectionately. Because anytime you want to get up and tell me a message from my mother, that you send me back into the economy that I'm used to, you don't adjust or manifest in my life or educate me, we as spiritual teachers are being like adulterers. Because we're taking money from people for a session, but we're not giving them the quality of VIP life. We're not giving them the quality of a life that's going to take off. And anyone can give you a goddamn prediction. Okay, the donkey can do that. That's not what we're after. You know, you could give me a prediction, and you're a radio DJ. All you have to do is look within your third eye. You can give me a prediction. So
you know what I predict?
Huh?
I predict that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, I predict that that's not going to happen. But what I'm saying is that we as Black people, esoteric people, we are so afraid of organized religion that we forget that our mind is organized enough to be who we are. Since you spoke of organized religion, and I'm a PK. You said you're a what?
I'm a PK.
Okay, so you still adopt that word, or have you woke? Like, are you a past PK, or are you still like a shouting tambourine-ish PK? Or
I was raised a PK.
Okay.
So from my standpoint, and being a Southern Baptist, unfortunately, I feel like I seen the unflattering part of religion.
The what?
unflattering part of religion and organized religion.
Oh, it's all unflattering.
So,
The only thing that keeps people sustained in religion, whether they're on the good side or the bad side, is the kingdom of light. So we can meet on the kingdom of light type scenario. But Southern Baptists seem to be very close-minded. They don't like gay people like me.
Oh, you're gay?
Of course, you can't tell. The hair isn't stylish enough for you.
You know what? You said I can't tell. I don't judge, so I didn't.
Well, it's not a judgment. It's just discerning. You got to know.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. You did remind me of my son, but I didn't want to. I thought I was talking to my son at first.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. I appreciate that. But I feel like it is what it is. I just don't do that kind of religious stuff like I used to, because the truth is that it was corroding my good. What does the Bible say?
Thou shalt not steal.
No, evil conversation corrupts good manners, something like that. And I feel that there's more evil, corrupted conversation happening in places in politics and even world powers within the church and all that stuff. I let go of all that. All this stuff of, societies and secret societies. I would say that I'm into the flower. I remember I was talking to someone, a practitioner. He said, you don't have to sign that, and you don't have to do it that way. Someone wanted me to sign something crazy. And they were like, the consciousness is a flower. So my sanctuary is a blossoming of a flower. It's almost like that conversation that Oprah had with Eckhart Tolle. The consciousness, the mind is magma. That's where your magic stems from. It stems from madness. And it makes people feel crazy because you're like, how does my best quality stem from madness? It doesn't have to stem from, I'm the genius or I'm always right. No. All paths lead to God. Every single religious path will lead you to God. Because at the end of the day, it takes God, not you or I. So if somebody, let's say hypothetically, because you got to look at Osiris. Osiris also did a lot of the things that Jesus did. Historically. It's just that in this time of culture, we look at Jesus as a savior of this 2,500 years. But with the way society is going, over the next 2,500 years, who's going to be our savior then? Zeus? So we have to look at it like, you have to look at this Bible stuff from a historical point of view, because the Bible is an occultic book, because it's a book of mysteries. The occult means mystery. But we get squeamish at these words because we don't educate ourselves in what's actually going on. Now, I didn't get on here to talk about religion. It's just, I got that energy from you. Not religion. Not religious. Not religious. But I did get like a Southern Baptist type thing going on. And you mentioned it. You said it. So
there's some things I don't do. I don't do religion. I actually attempt not to do race. I live by the motto, just be a good person.
Okay. Well, I talked to the pink elephant in the room. That's what got me on TMZ for 2 years. So religion is a big part of 2022. And so is sexuality, and so is social justice. And then, like you said, there's many people who are not willing to go there and not willing to talk about it. However, I definitely am. So can I do my website one more shout out before I go?
Actually, I was about to say, hey, let's close it out. But I want you to give the people everywhere they can find you, from your website to your TikTok, to your Instagram, to every single thing, how they can get in contact with you for readings, all the good.
Okay. The number two ways that you can contact me is my Instagram, which is The Money Prophet. So just go to Instagram.com/The Money Prophet, THE Money Prophet. And then you can also go to my website, which is www.healeranthony.com. That's healer, ANTHONY.com. If you submit to me, it will come to my desk, and I actually reply to mostly all the submissions, but you can also sign up for my daily newsletter where you will be given products and services and things like that. That way, if you go to the website, www.healeranthony.com, if you go to my Instagram, The Money Prophet, you can find a way to connect with me instantly, even when I get off of here. So.
And talk about that 6 o'clock on TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. Just go to TikTok and type in Anthonyism. But, that's going to be on healeranthony.com. So you can click on my TikTok from my website. That gives me more points. So let's do it that way. These bugs are just coming in here because my damn window has been open all night. All right. So that's what I have to say. So hopefully we have a better rhythm next time. Hopefully you're more open to, another interview at another time, sir.
Yes.
But, I came on here to have fun. I feel like my whole phone dropping scenario and not starting over kind of threw my energy off. Because at the end of the day, I like things done right, as you can tell.
Yes,
so.
But right has different levels.
No, it doesn't. Right
yes,
is how you accommodate your clients, sir. Because the truth is,
I didn't drop your phone. You dropped your phone.
But you still accommodate because it's an interview. Oh. You're not going to tell me hospitality doesn't exist, my Christian friend. Hospitality.
And I'm Southern.
You have to be hospitable.
I'm big.
Plus, I'm not coming back.
Come on back. Come on back.
Right. So, love you guys. Thank you for listening a little bit. I'm doing another interview later on in the week, not with you, but hopefully you watch that interview, then you'll get a spell on how I like my interviews to go down. Or you can look me up on TMZ and know how I like my interviews to go down because you kind of shaded me a little bit. But it's all right.
Why are you doing that with your lips now?
Doing what? Talking like that? Is it turning you on?
Absolutely not.
See, you're not ready for my level of chill and comfort.
No, I'm actually, hey man, I can make this as hilarious as you like. I was being extra uptight. Like,
why?
I didn't want you to predict my future and tell me that my co-host was coming back next week.
Well, you know what? You don't have enough faith to make me step out and be a co-host. But I did give you that offer. Once a week, I'll come on if you want me to.
And hey, we'll discuss it. I promise we'll discuss it.
But it'll have to be like Wednesday.
Because
after all, that's hump day.
Even if we can do a reading, I might have people in my chat who might want to see that 6 o'clock pendulum.
Yeah, I listen. It's all is fun and love and readings, right?
Love and readings, all right.
Love and readings.
Thank you, J. Pharaoh. I definitely appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And we will talk.
Absolutely.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was Anthony J. Pharaoh. Anthony J. Pharaoh, Young Pharaoh. Y'all definitely make sure y'all look him up. All social media. Definitely doing his thing. Got a couple websites going to be launching. And hey man, chat. Sergeant, you caught that? Oh man, you cursed Papa. All right, look, man, I definitely appreciate you guys. I gotta go through and figure out how to wrench you guys. Thank y'all for hanging out this morning. We're streaming this evening. Anybody out there, if you got some music you want to play, make sure y'all get it to me. We're streaming this evening. I'm not sure what time we're streaming because I'm going on a double date today. I'm taking my mom and my wife to the movies. But after that, we're streaming. Love you guys. Shaw, thank you. Papa Fresh, thank you. Katie, thank you. Ashley, thank you. Who else jumped in? Let's see who else jumped in. Bob, thank you. Eye in the Sky, thank you. I definitely thank you guys. Hey man, this is going to be a journey, but we want to get back to where we need to be. Ridin Dirty Radio, Country Rap Report. Man, you guys have an awesome rest of your day. And make sure your notifications are set. That way you know when we are going to stream. All right, Atlanta Rap History. Thank you. All right, we'll be streaming later on today. It'll probably be about between, I don't know, but we're definitely streaming. I got some good music. Love you guys. Y'all have a productive day. Remember, stay strong, stay positive. You absolutely, positively will not go wrong. Love you guys. Till next time. It's your boy Big XL Ridin Dirty Radio. Country Rap Report. We gone. Peace. Anthony, can I get you to do one favor? If you're using your mobile device, can I get you to turn it the other way so we can get a bigger wide shot? I don't like when everybody look all narrow like they're on TikTok.
Well, Che is a Swahili word for aman, which means to agree.
Okay,